What's going on? I wanted to help everybody start a new army for Warhammer 40k 8th edition post FAQ. If you're new to the game, or you just want to start your second army, or your third army, or your fourth army, and you haven't done this, now is the time. And that is, look at the models and buy the one you like the most. Is that a Necron Doom Scythe? Sure. Buy it. Now you play Necrons. And because you love that model so much, maybe get two. Maybe get three. Maybe get one in the Codex and start collecting. Now you probably have at least a 500 point army. Is your favorite Imperial Guard unit? Scions with the little Taurox tank. Get two, start collectings. They're your favorite? Get two. Get three. Get the Codex. That's it. That's how you start. If you were going to do Thousand Suns, and you were really into Forge Fiends, pick one up. Pick two. They're a little expensive in points. Maybe not three. But you could do three. I have three. I have a good time. So, I just want to say the most important thing when you're starting a new army, whether you're brand new to the game or you're just maybe you've been chasing like a competitive meta where you think you're gonna like get into the game and you're gonna go on to win the big tournament, and like the 400 people on the Facebook group are gonna be in awe of your celebrity status, and it's not working out for you. Now's the time to just enjoy the hobby. Warhammer is a very visual experience. That's why people value painting a lot. It adds to the immersion or whatever, the imagination of the game. It's visually a very appealing game when two very beautiful armies are battling and somebody walks by and has no idea what's going on. They want to look and see what's going on. Tactically, there's a lot of luck involved, and probably more luck than any other thing, I guess. I'm not really sure on that. Even in like poker, where there's luck, you could still fold. You have a lot of time to, manage your money, and there's luck involved in the cards. But in Warhammer, there's a lot of luck. Almost everything is going to be a dice roll. Any one of those dice rolls could go poorly, and the dice do not remember their previous roll. So if you roll a dice and roll a 1 to hit and re-roll it, it's just as likely to roll a 1 again as it was the first time you rolled it, because it doesn't remember. It's not a string event, it's just a dice, and it has no memory of what happened previously. So it's the same percent chance every time you roll it. So because of that, a good example is somebody that sits around a roulette table in Vegas and waits for it to land on red 5 times in a row, and then they go up and they put $100 on black. Well, that worked for him sometimes because there's like a 44% chance that it will land on black every time. But there's also that 46%, I can't remember. I want to say it's like 46% chance that it's just going to land on red again. And even though it landed on red 5 times previously, the ball does not remember where it landed. It's not how it works. So in 40k, if you want to chase the competitive meta, it might be appealing because with some luck you could beat the best player in the world. Whereas if you just got into, like, say, chess, you're never going to beat him. Like, there's no luck. He already beat you before you sat down, right? But in 40k, the best player in the world could fail all his charges all game long. And he's a hand-to-hand army, and he gets shot to death, and you win, and now you're the best player in the world. Maybe not. Doesn't matter. But what's even better is when you really like your army. Now, some of us, like me, like a lot of armies, and they find a lot of joy in all of them, kind of. You know, the only one that I don't really care for visually so much is Tau. Also Dark Eldar. That's kind of about it. Never really been into playing orcs, but I like the way they look, so maybe one day. Actually, I have an orc army that I bought, so maybe one day I'll play with it. So anyway, you're going to walk into the game store Friday, right after you get paid. Go in there, look at the shelves, pick a model you like, buy it, buy the codex, go home, put it together, bring the codex in the bathroom with you when you're going number 2, read it, put the codex by the bed. You're waiting for your glue to dry. Glance through it, flip through, look at the pictures. What do you like about your army? Do you like the big monsters in the Tyranid list? Do you like an all-tank army, you know, in the Imperial Guard? Do you like the skimming, fast-looking flyers in the Eldar, right? What do you like? So now, that's all you need. Buy a little bit more of that. Don't go overboard, because now after the FAQ, you can only have 3 of something for the most part. You don't need to worry about that yet. So what you're going to do is start putting those things together. Buy a can of primer. Maybe get a can of like a colored primer. If you're going to go not colored, I think a cheap good primer is Rust-Oleum 2X. That says also covers plastic. Not the paint and primer, just the one that says primer. You're going to go light, you know, do a good job. Clean your mold lines, glue your model, right? But if you're going to play, you know, this is your very first experience, maybe get like an Army Painter or Games Workshop colored primer. Because if you wanted to play Blood Angels, well, after you build all your Marines, if you spray them red, you're already going to start to get that, like, taste of what, you know, and what they're going to look like. Because you've already imagined it in your mind, what you think they're going to look like when you're done. Now, it's an artist's curse. They're never going to look like what you think they're going to look like. But that's a different story. You're going to enjoy painting them more. Visually, while you're working on them, up close, looking at all the little details, you're going to be sitting there like this. You know, if this guy's little face is interesting to you, it's going to be interesting to you even more so when he rolls something really hot and kills your best friend's general, warlord, vehicle, whatever, right? That's fun. So don't get too hung up on, like, is my army good or bad? Because apparently one of the worst armies in the game is Adeptus Mechanicus, competitively, except I have a wonderful time playing them. I even play them in events sometimes, and I do fine. Usually I go about half. At Adepticon I went 2-2 with Adeptus Mechanicus, and you know, I usually go against the grain, right? I like to play with the stuff I like. I'm not trying to copy the nonsense I read on the Facebook group, because usually it's wrong anyway. If it was right, then it wouldn't be the same 100 people complaining why the army's bad and they're all playing the exact same army, basically. They're all doing the exact same thing. So maybe the army's okay, but how they play it's bad. And instead of trying something else, they will either try to jump to the thing that's supposedly good, they will try to spam whatever is supposedly the best. They will complain on the internet a lot. And they will cry wolf. You know, so-and-so's better. They have a better this. They have a better that. What they won't do is laugh with their friends, have a good time, play the game, try some new units, pick up a box of something that you never tried out before. Maybe it's going to be cool, paint it up, have a good time. Right, and they're going to be forever caught in the loop of chasing like a heroin addict, right? They're chasing the high. They just want to play whatever's the best. And somehow they're going to relate winning Warhammer to like self-worth or value, and that's just not the case, at least not for me. I also am not a competitive Warhammer fan, I guess. I don't know. That doesn't sound right. I am not interested in doing what it takes to win a Warhammer 40k tournament. But I will play in one with what I feel like I just want to play. And if it does good, it does good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I just don't care. I'm not going to lose my first game at Adepticon and then rage quit the whole tournament like somebody that has a podcast about competitive 40k tactics. You flew all the way to Chicago, played in a Warhammer 40k championship, lost your first game, and quit. Let that sink in. That's somebody that tells you on a podcast how to do competitive 40k. So, that aside, you can take my opinion, which is you did this because it looked fun. It is fun. So have fun. Buy the things you like. That's fun. Paint the things you like, because it's going to be hard to paint stuff you don't like because it takes a lot of time. And, roll some sixes, make some friends. And, if you don't like how it's going, complain on the Facebook groups.